One of the more important concepts of this unit is ecosystem services. Let's get on it and learn about it. Well, the idea is, unfortunately, humans are somewhat selfish by nature, and we tend not to try to preserve things if we don't see a particular benefit to ourselves in doing so. So, if you think about it, ecosystem service is a way of pointing out to people, hey, what's in it for me? And say, well, I'll tell you what's in it for you. Ecosystems provide you with certain services that you will find valuable. And if you know what these are, then you will be more mindful about protecting these ecosystems. So, what we've done is we basically uh, divided ecosystem services into four categories. They are provisioning, regulating, cultural, and supporting. We'll talk about each of those in turn, but if you just think PRCS, perks, like an advantage, right? What are the perks of this job? Okay, so if you just remember there are perks in preserving ecosystems, maybe that'll help. I know it's a misspelling, but what the heck, it's worth trying, okay? So let's look at them in turn. Okay, provisioning. Basically, I'm providing products. So ecosystems provide us with stuff that we like. It provides us with food from fishing or hunting or harvesting fruits and vegetables, raw materials like wood and mining materials. There's mineral resources, there's medical resources. So basically, the provisioning resources are these are the products that we can remove from an ecosystem and then use. So if I preserve the ecosystem, I'm allowing myself to have this product in the future. So those are provisioning ones. Regulating are an important ones to get tested quite a bit on the APES test. So regulating ecosystem services refer to how it is that ecosystems moderate and regulate different biotic and mainly abiotic factors of an ecosystem. So let's think about climate and air quality. Trees have the ability to reduce temperature changes. They add moisture to the air. They filter out pollutants. So they do a lot to control air quality. They also do a bit to take carbon dioxide out of the air, so they are regulating the rate at which human activities are causing global warming. And one of the things that gets pointed out a lot in this course, and it should, is that they tend to moderate extreme events. So marshes and mangroves that are planted on coastal, or that grow on coastal areas, they prevent damage from tsunamis and storms. And trees growing on hillsides prevent landslides, and they prevent flooding. So these are all ways in which ecosystems regulate the natural phenomenon that could impact humans adversely. So I'll just use this example. Here's a hillside. When the ecosystem is healthy, it basically slows down the rate at which rain reaches the ground, increases infiltration, decreases runoff, and therefore my town doesn't flood. You cut all these trees down, and now I have all this dirt. I don't have that ecosystem to provide that service anymore. And what happens is, as the rain comes down, it just washes down the hillside and floods my town and puts all these nutrients and sediments into my streams. Then there's supporting ecosystem services. So basically, what that means is this ecosystem supports a number of organisms that live in it. Duh. Okay, but let's think about this. Okay, so sometimes it's worth preserving an ecosystem because there's things I want to preserve. Say like ducks. One of the biggest protectors of habitat of wetland ecosystems in the United States is an organization called Ducks Unlimited. They like to shoot ducks, but they can't shoot ducks if there aren't any ducks around. So they protect these ecosystems that ducks thrive in, wetlands. So basically, uh, they supporting service means you provide habitats for organisms to live in, especially migratory bird species and other species. But migratory animals, they move and they need a place to settle down that is amenable to their lifestyle. And if you remove, say, all the wetlands, then these ducks can't land, and then they end up dying of stress. And the other thing that happens is robust ecosystems have a lot of genetic biodiversity, so they help provide the genetic biodiversity that's necessary to maintain healthy populations. So here's a couple examples of supporting ecosystem services. Mangroves, which grow on the edges of tropical coastlines, they have these root systems that small fish species, marine fish species, will live amongst these roots as they grow bigger and bigger. So it provides protection for the fish so that they don't get eaten before they reach a reproductive size. Similarly, migratory ducks and other species, they need wetland areas in which to rest and to feed on their migratory routes. And that's a service that is provided by these wetland ecosystems. And finally, there's cultural. And what this basically means is if you think about it, people like nature. It makes us feel good. All right. It has spiritual importance to us. So yeah, I know my wife and I, when we travel, we are always going out and doing things in nature. We're always kayaking and hiking. So it basically provides recreation and mental health activities. If you go to the United States, chances are you're going to go to national parks. They're wonderful ways of preserving natural ecosystems, and people just enjoy being in them. So they're good for tourism. So people get a lot of money out of it. Like in some places like Costa Rica, a huge part of their economy and their GDP comes from people who just want to come and experience their untouched ecosystems. And they also provide inspiration for art and culture, especially like native cultures and indigenous cultures. And they can also provide spiritual significance. There's certain places that are spiritually important to people or make us feel this connection to the mystic. So a couple examples I'll give is like think about Mount Fuji. Like, what if we paved over Mount Fuji and put hotels all the way up the side of it? We could do that, but then we'd be losing something important. It would lose its cultural ecosystem service. Certain estuaries people go to, they want to paddle kayaks through and enjoy the birds. So ecotourism is a huge component of cultural ecosystem services. All right, that's it. I'm keeping these fairly short for you, so hopefully I'm not in trouble with you.